Breaking news of the North. Our commander, the genius creator Winfield Scott of the Anaconda Plan, just recently blockaded the South from all access from the sea. He believes that we need to beat Confederates on the Confederate soil.
If you are interested in becoming a part of the Union troops, please contact Mr. Scott at iwentOnTheField@gmail.com. Now to Hannah, reporting live from the Potomac River into Virginia.
Thanks, Cam. Well, there's nothing like it on this side of the internal region. Oh no! The Union troops began to flee, merging with the panic-stricken civilians who ran back to Washington, D.C. for safety. Now back to Cam.
Wow, that was crazy. I'm sad to say the Confederacy has won the first Battle of Bull Run. Now to Brian.
I'm here at the Maryland-Virginia line with our President, Abe Lincoln. Mr. President, do you have any words on the current situation against the Confederacy?
Yes, I would like to call for 1 million volunteers to help us beat those Confederates. I also plan on reorganizing the generals, the armies, and their locations. We're not giving up.
Well, you heard it. We're in it for a long war. Thank you, Mr. President.
It was my pleasure, Brian.
Now we have a General McClellan here to speak about his views and plans for the war.
I think we have the advantage with our strong Navy. We plan on attacking and closing many southern ports in order to make them lose access to the Atlantic. We just heard word about a new ship being built by the South. We plan to make an even better one to beat them.
I, along with the rest of the Union, am very excited to see what you have in store for us. Thank you, Mr. McClellan.
It was my pleasure, truly.
Back to Hannah.
Thanks, Brian. We have just received word from our Navy commander, Andrew H. Rule, that the Union has won a series of battles on the Mississippi River, and we couldn't be happier. While the Navy is taking dubs, General Grant is leading our brave army to fight the Confederates near Shiloh Church in Tennessee. OMG, it's just in. We have won the battle, but many of our soldiers are injured. Luckily, we have taken over several southern rivers, cities, and rail systems, which should put us in the lead. Many of our forces were just defeated at Manassas on Bull Run Creek.
Thanks, Hannah. As the Union Army marched deeper into the Confederacy, but the poor old commanders realized that slaves could be of great value. The slaves knew where the hidden roadways were, and they also knew what the right Southerners were thinking. Oh man, with or without authorization, some blacks began to fight in the Union Army. Union officers in Kansas and on the coast of South Carolina began to recruit the black troops. The government needed more soldiers, and many blacks wanted to fight if the fighting was for their freedom. Now to you, Cam.
Oh, thanks, Brian. OMG, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation declaring that all slaves in areas then in rebellion, about 3 million of the nation's, and 4 million slaves. It also said black soldiers and sailors will be organized in the armed forces.
Important news. McClellan attacked Lee's army. It was the bloodiest day of the war. 23,000 soldiers were killed or wounded, 4 times the number of U.S. soldiers killed or wounded on D-Day in World War II. Now, back to Cam.
Thanks, Brian. Now back onto the road to emancipation. Lincoln wrote a letter to Congressman Alexander Stephens of Georgia, who was trying to convince his state not to secede. Once the southern states began to succeed, his top priority was to hold the Union together with or without slavery. Now back to Hannah.
Lincoln's views revolving slaves and former slaves were hella clear on what they wanted from the war. 3 slaves found their way to the Union, held Fortress Monroe in Virginia, and asked the commander for his protection. Oh geez, federal authorities, including new officials appointed by Lincoln, continued to enforce the Fugitive Slave Act in the District of Columbia, and some generals returned slaves to their rightful owners.
Now to our newbie Gabby Benitez in Franklin County, where 45 free black men just signed up to join the 54th Regiment.
Thanks, Cam. I'm here on the scene with Thomas Burgess, a carpenter who just signed up for the 54th Regiment just minutes ago. What made you want to enlist in the Army?
Well, I need the money from joining and the pay for fighting desperately, but the opportunity to fight for my freedom. is what really compelled me the most.
The 54th Regiment has recently proven to many people, including Lincoln, that they are the bravest of the brave and they deserve freedom and equal political rights when they requested to be first in the assault at Fort Wagner. Now to Cam.
You heard it here, folks. Black soldiers are on their way to equal pay and equal treatment within the Army. This just in, black soldiers here officially received the right to testify and are now being promoted to officer ranks. Exiting now, ladies and gents, now to Hannah with some sad news.
On another note, Lincoln has suspended the exchange of prisoners of war due to the refusal of the South to return black soldiers. The exchange was briefly reopened until we surrendered to the Confederacy at Fort Pillow yesterday. The nasty Confederate General Nathan B. Forrest ordered a massacre of all of our black soldiers. These brave soldiers knew what danger they could face, but still fought anyways. That is some bravery that I will never forget. Back to you, Cam.
Tonight's newscast has certainly been an emotional roller coaster, but it's only up from here, folks. Cam Johnson signing off. Stay classy, Union.